Alright, so I wanted to do a short video on how I adjusted the upper control arm. Because if you have never focused on adjusting an alignment or even putting a rough alignment on a car and used some sort of precision measurement tool, then this might be a little bit out of your wheelhouse. So I will show you how I did it. So for measuring things, if you've watched any of my other videos, there's different types of measuring tools and instruments that you might have to acquire. One of them being calipers. And what's nice about calipers like this, and there's all different kinds, I have a bunch of different ones, but you can kind of set them at a certain point and then it locks in place and then you can measure something. So if, say, you need to find a seal for a certain machined piece and the seal didn't already exist, you could measure with these calipers and then find a seal. Now these ones weren't wide enough to do the upper control arm, so I had to buy a new set, and this is what Harbor Freight's good for. You could probably find these online, but Harbor Freight had these, I think, for like $9. And just something good enough to fix 2 points together so that you could check it and then measure it with, like this. This has millimeters and inches on it, but then it breaks it down into 30 seconds. So that's enough, and 64ths. For the most part, it's 16ths. So that's enough to like measure it, take your measurement here and then check it on a ruler. So, and I'll show you this first. So I'm gonna undo it. Okay. So here is the factory 5 measurements that you need to go off of to rough align your upper control arm, so that you could set it on the wheels and drive it to an actual alignment shop, or do like a track alignment with the string method. This is high caster. I'm guessing they go high caster because in my experience with working with vehicles, more caster gives you a little bit more front end bite. So I'm guessing that's why they're setting it up that way first. So I checked the biggest measurement first, because as it looks here, as you see here, you have thread there with this 8.23 inch measurement from the center of the ball joint where the grease fitting's at to the pivot bolt. And that's 8.2, and then see how you have thread there, and over here you do not. So I wanted to set that one first. So that's what I did. I set it with 8 3/16. That was as close as I was gonna get here. Oh, that's a millimeter apart. So what I did was, all right, now I'm gonna put this back. I can't get to it. So I loosen this, find my 8. And what's nice about this ruler is it has lines in it, so you can lock the points into it. And then I went to 8 3/16. And you could even go smaller increments. So see, I don't have the 64ths, because it's really what that is. That measurement is 15/64ths. So that'll do there. Then, now I'm going to reset this here so you can see. There's the A-arm there. Now, you're measuring from the center of that pivot bolt there to the center of that ball joint, which is that little It's like a ball bearing that's on the grease fitting that it's in the Zerk fitting. So it's nice because you can just put it on that Zerk fitting and you can see, actually let's go this way so it's on the way. So from the center there, you can see how far I need to come out with the measurement. And so you twist to get it going in the direction you need it to go. And it might be, you might need a wrench, but if you do it by hand, you can get it moving there. It's a little tough, but it's moving. And you can see how the caster is changing on the whole assembly. Need a little bit more. Oh, it's starting to hit the coilover. Weirdly. So I'm going to get a little bit of gap there. So that's about, and you can see center of the bolt to the center of the ball joint. That's that measurement. Now you can lock your jam nuts down. And move on to the next measurement, which is going to be that measurement there, which is stated to be 7.375, which 375 is 3/8. So I went back and I set with my ruler that to 7 3/8 and check that, and it's way off. Oh, that's because I measured, look at that, I measured it wrong. So we're almost there. We want 7 3/8. That's way out there. Wait a minute. I'm an idiot. I'm going the complete wrong direction. Well, I'll be good for effect. Because you'll see it come right into I don't always get things perfect. So it's almost, yep, right there. About 7 3/8. So you'll see when you're done, you're gonna have thread here and no real thread over here. And then you torque pivot bolts to 60, I think it was 60 foot-pounds. Yeah, 60 foot-pounds, and that's rough. And you can kind of see when you look at the, if you look at the, you know, the relation of the brake disc to the chassis, you can kind of see how that gets it pretty close. Now, the only thing I'm concerned about is my coilover is very, very close to that measurement there. That's the only thing that has me a little concerned. So, which that could be where the hole is on the mount that I had to drill in the bottom is a little bit too far out, but I don't know, because so we'll have to mess with that, but yeah, that's how I did it. So if you need a process, feel free to use that process, and yeah, that's it.